Calo Nord is dead, Lord Malak. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Calo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malak?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend. Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Yes?
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps that the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude. Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manaan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere. Yeah, there's nothing we can do, though. The Selkath want to maintain their neutrality, and they enforce it very strictly. So, we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe Courthouse export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether. You're joking, right? I'm sorry, but everyone knows what Courthouse is. It's the most powerful healing agent in the galaxy. I would have died several times myself if we didn't have this stuff handy. But the reason it's important here is that Courthouse is only found naturally on Manaan, and all of our attempts to synthesize it have failed miserably. So, we sit here on the surface, the Selkath harvesting what Courthouse bubbles up from the bottom of the ocean, and we buy it from them. Well, us and the Sith, of course. The Selkath don't want to play favorites. The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling Courthouse to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of Courthouse on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require? A star map? Like an ancient artifact or something? No, I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. Is there anything else I can do for you? Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
How can I help? I do. I've been watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zaha. You never give up, do you? I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think. You have a great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force, and I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it. What? No, of course not. Not like that, anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy, or you could bring untold destruction upon us all. I've seen you give in to temptation and indulge your baser emotions on many occasions. I'm afraid you are on the path that leads to the dark side. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety, for it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of a Jedi Master can truly explain this, but I will do my best to make you understand. The dark side is not simply giving in to anger, temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for. I am no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side. Millions dead, and far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly? One who serves the light does not strike down an innocent. We take arms against the dark side and the injustice that follows it only. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror, that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying. I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side, but I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Hakoji Chopa! Kuyami Juski Hakoji! Help!
Got something on your mind? You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. Closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of a synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a panther. Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? Like impatient little children with blasters. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vix was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, he had a much better food dispenser than you do. That and the fact that even I wasn't an altogether impatient twit. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. This could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? What? Are you kidding? What are the odds of that happening anyway? 1,000,000,000 to 1? You should do so well as to be sucked into the engine of some evil Sith Lord, you know. Andor was a hero. Sort of. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
Jolie, may I have a moment? There's something I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolie. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, they don't mean the same to me as they do to you. I don't see in absolutes. I want to stop Malak as much as anyone, but I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they aren't Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures. And belonging to the Jedi Order, or the Sith, or any group, won't change what you are at your core.
I see you were quite adamant. No doubt you've had ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn. But I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group. With a lightsaber. And Force powers.
On Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Nawabakaon, Pichage Borang Kurang, Nada Chawa Ishun Kun, Nova Muirati like Kuka, Kang Nibora Tong Chitsa, Chesko Yohabakaba Nopi Dorula. Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha. Agi unko tune chuna muri ra tangi wama jikona tong kipa non kunek abom tong hit wama aki unko tune potong wama ji aki unko tong pa dokun nonek chiwi aita ka tong chicha ki muri ra kunkin kimba no konik yota kakinja nawabakaon Pichage borang turang nada chawa ishun kun no ba mulirat achua penki yun patisa ichuba jikota naga ingura chiwi aita ka tong chicha agi unko tune chuna muri ra tong hit wama agi unko tune potong wama ji agi unko tu opa na ota vakas Chua penti tong hit wama agi unko tune potong wama ji agi unko tu tong palokun non discadosoki kopa bono nakachu amora na winki smack toma kuyami jusku chitanai uchua penki topa na ota vokasa tong hit wama aki inko tune potong hi wama ji aki inko tu tong palokun discadosoki kopa bono nakachu amora na winki smack toma kuyami jusku chitanai Uchua penki, topa na ota vokasa, yubabato kanchi, yatuka ulan, tong hit wama aki inko tune, potong wama ji aki inko tu, tong pat. Chiwaka aita kan kicha na tupornibo. Kun muli ras nimo poi wanga tong itwama ji human act ikatune chiwi aita ka tong chicha agi inko tune chuna muli ra tong itwama ji kona tong kipa nonku nek abog tong itwama agi inko tune potong itwama ji agi inko tu tong pa nokun nonek chiwi aita ka tong chicha Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo kun muli ras nimo poi wanga tong itwama ji human act ikatune tong hitwama act inko tune potong hitwama ji aki inko tu tong panokun nonek chiwi aita ka tong chicha ki muli ra kun king kimba no nik yota Discadosoki, kopa pono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chitanai, uchua penki, topa na ota vokasa, yubabato kanchi, yatuka ulan. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu, tong padokun, nonek. Discadosoki, kopa pono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chitan. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tu. Discadosoki, kopa pono nakachu, labora na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku discadosoki, kopa pono nakachu, labora na winki tong hitwama aki inko tune potong hitwama ji aki inko tu tong padokun non discadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smack toma kuyami jusku chitanai tong hitwama aki inko tune potong hitwama ji aki inko tu tong padokun non chiwi aita ka tong chicha agi unko tune chiwa aita kan kicha na chuporni discadosoki kopa bono nakachu amora na winki smack tong hitwama aki discadosoki kopa bono nakachu amora na winki chiwi aita tong hitwama aki inko tune potong hitwama ji aki inko tu tong padokun nonek discadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smack toma kuyami jusku chitana tong hitwama aki inko tune potong hitwama ji aki inko tu tong padokun nonek chiwi aitak discadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smack toma kuyami jusku tong hitwama aki inko tune potong hitwama ji aki inko tu tong discadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smack toma Uyami Jusku Chitanai, Tong Hitwama Aki Inkotune, Otongi, Jiskadosoki, Kopa Bononakachu, Abora Nawinki Snaktoma, Uyami Jusku Tong Hitwama Aki Inkotune, Otongi Wamaji Aki Inkotun. Jiskadosoki, Kopa Bononakachu, Abora Nawinki Snaktoma, Uyami Jusku Tong Hitwama Aki Inkotune, Otongi Wamaji Aki Inkotun. Con mulis limo po iwanga la boda na winki smak toma. Jiska da sok da tuka ulwa. La boda na winki smak toma. Jiska
Hey, this street is for Sith only. You gotta pay a 20 credit toll to walk down this street. Hiding behind the Selkat laws. Typical Republic cowards. Out of my way, unless you want to feel the wrath of the Sith. The wrath of the Sith is a terrible thing. Remember, Taris? You'll see. You'll all see.
I don't know how much longer I can stay on this world. The cell cap will make it easy.
You got any armor plating for my spook bike? Oh, I thought this garbage was free. You actually sell this junk? You fish are a strange breed. Don't worry, junk man. When I want garbage, I'll be back.
Sure.
What do you want? I don't waste time with fans. So if this is about an autoprint, forget it. You can buy one when I get more made up. Leave me alone. I need time to prepare for my races. What? Are you... That's better. Hurry up and tell me what you want. I know that if you do absolutely anything wrong, you get locked up. Seems like finding criminals is a great way to bring in the credits. I'm surprised they even let us race. Wouldn't want the crowds to get too excited. Excitement makes people unpredictable or something. Don't hurry back.
We might have a position within the Sith organization for one such as you.
Your offer is pretty good. But I've heard some nasty things about you, Sith. Is it true you bombed Terrace into dust?
This is war. In war, certain distasteful acts cannot be avoided. But ask yourself this, when we win this war, would you rather be against the Sith or with us?
You make a good point. And I'd never turn down a job that pays up front.
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy tomorrow for your assignment.
Sorry, but you're too late to recruit me. I've just hired on with the Sith. Of course, if the Republic has a better offer. I don't have time to sit here and answer your questions. I have to get ready. The Sith want me to report to their embassy first thing tomorrow.
I have no desire to speak to you. I know you have links to the Republic.
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wong. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. Oh, of course. Of course I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. Don't think you can manipulate me, Jedi. The Republic Diplomatic Corps has to deal with the Sith all the time, so we're very resistant to mental influence. Your only real choice is to help me so I can help you. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Firaxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith Embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far. We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith Masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith Enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a pass card to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would like to try first? Good call. Just make sure you don't push him too hard or we might lose him. I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
Chopa chawa wisium coin. Chiwi aitaka. Kiska nichu. Kimba muli ratwanaji. Kimba noku nixat. The hupa botenya go gigi piti. Kiska nichu. Kimba muli ratwana. The hupa botenya go gigi piti. Kaskrunki to pats. The hupa botenya go gigi piti.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty, citizen.
So, you're the one Roland has got to help us interrogate this prisoner. I hope your Jedi powers will come in useful. This one has been most resistant. He's a Sith spy we picked up a little while ago, snooping around outside trying to get in. We thought he was suspicious and brought him inside when the Selkath weren't looking. But it seems the Sith have done a pretty good job of conditioning this guy, and we haven't been able to break him yet. The Sith protect their really important spies with some sort of mental force feedback system. They can turn their minds in on themselves, so force compulsions won't affect them. Combine this with conventional training to resist interrogation, and sometimes it takes months to get them to tell what they know. Do you want to interrogate him now? Well, the training the Sith gave him will protect him from most normal interrogation techniques, and also from force persuasion. We have found a few hooks you might find useful. He was with another man when he was first spotted. We think it was another spy, but we didn't manage to catch him. We also seized some personal documents he had on him when he was captured. It would seem that he's married to a woman named Tila. We checked this in our computers, and it seems to hold up. We've sent a couple of agents to investigate, but it may be a while. Okay, but you should know what we have to work with here first. What we have here is your standard issue truth serum. It should make him spill his guts in no time. But there is a catch. Because of his conditioning, he's able to resist it at small doses. But if you give him too much, his body realizes what you're trying to do and shuts his mind down completely. If you do that, you'll have to inject him with an antidote that neutralizes the truth serum. Unfortunately, that too has a drawback. It causes short-term memory loss. This may work to your advantage because you can try the same tactic over and over again. But if you use it too much, you may forget everything we want to know. Shall we get it started then? Hey you, wake up. Someone wants to talk to you.
What do you want? What companion?
Of course, they would never believe we let you go so easily, but they would all too happily believe you betrayed them.
You can't do this to me. They would kill me in ways too horrible for you to imagine.
The gutless Sith worm is already starting to crack.
Tila, how did you find out about her? You think bribes will work? You must be dumber than I thought to think that a Sith would join... What? Nothing you can... What?
Of course, they would...
This... What? What? No. All right. All right. I'll tell you what you want to know.
What's the passcode to the Sith base?
It's Zeta 245698 Alpha. Just no more.
Good. With this pass, you should be able to get into the Sith base without trouble. Just don't delay too long, or they might learn that he's been captured.
I'm sorry,
Good job in getting the passcode out of him. I was sure he couldn't be broken.
Have you managed to retrieve the data from our droid in the Sith base?
Sorry, buddy, but the hotel is closed. Ever since the murder, the Selkath have made me keep this place locked up tight. Only the Selkath authorities, and those authorized by them, are allowed in. Ha! They sent me a list of people to let in, and they're all Selkath. Somehow, you just don't look like one. Yeah, maybe...
Uchua penki, tangi tuamaji, human act. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko, tong hi tuama agi unko tune. Potong hi tuamaji, chiwa aita kan kicha na kupornibo. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune, chiwa aita kan kicha na kupornibo. Un Discadosoki, Copa Bononakachu, Laboran, Tong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune, Otong Hidwama Aki, Discadosoki, Copa Bononakachu, Laboran Winky Smaktoma, Tong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune, Otong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune, Discadosoki, Copa Bononakachu, Tong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune, Otong Hidwama Chiwi Aita Kat Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha na Kupornibo Kun Muli Discadosoki Copa Bononakachu Labora na Winky Tong Hidwama at Chiwi Aita Discadosoki Copa Bononakachu Labora na Winky Smaktoma Kuyami Klusku Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha na Kupornibo Kun Muli Ras Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha Chiwi Aita Ka Chong Chicha Agi Unko Chiwa Aita Ka Chiwi
Only people who have business with the Sith are allowed inside the embassy. Oh, really? You mean someone like you actually has some real purpose inside? Well then, what is it? Yes, well, I suppose you really do have some business here. Head on in. Only people who...
You there. I don't recognize you. How did you get in here? Your passcode is out of date. And Commander Gran, report to the security desk immediately. authorized this person to enter? I don't know them, and their identification doesn't match up. They're spies.
What? Sound the alarm! Droids, destroy them!
Yeah?
Yes?
But I live here.
Yes? Huh?
Acknowledgement.
Yes?
Sure. No problem. Didn't work. What?
Su
Forgive us, we're still demons.
Yes?
Jodie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jodie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Laura. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Laura. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight. If it weren't for the Republic, Manaan would already be under Sith control. But we haven't heard one word of thanks from the...
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. This is all a plot to discredit the Republic. Sunry is a victim of a Sith frame-up.
It's possible. I haven't seen Sunry since I crashed on Kashyyyk. The man can change a lot in that time. The man I knew could never have done this crime, however.
Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Jolie, what are you doing here? The Lord sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence can see that. So I thought. But the Cellcath seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think.
I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith when I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us.
It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated.
But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith,
trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my heroes cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Very well. I suppose there is still much you must do before the trial. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
Yes?
Be careful here, kid. Start poking your nose in a place it doesn't belong, and you might not like what you find.
have no desire to speak to you. I know you have links to the Republic.
You hiring for the Republic or the Sith? Then why are you wasting my time? There's big money to be made here. I can't risk missing a job offer because I'm yapping with you.
Hey man, clear out. You're cramping my style with the ladies.
So, do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries well.
Makes sense, I guess. All right, I'm in. When do I start?
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure he'll have some task he wants you to start on right away. Do you mind? I'm in the middle of a Republic recruiting drive right now. I need to hire these mercenaries before they sign up with the Sith. I don't know if you've got what we're looking for. Jedi aren't generally suited to mercenary work. This north of here, just eat now.
How much for all this stuff, Tyvark?
Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama jiko na. Donk ipa no.
Thanks, Tyvark. Catch you next week.
Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Agi inko tune chun. Tong hit wama aki inko tune. Or tong hit. Tong hit. Chiwi just grunky to bats.
Tyvark hates the Sith, so he's always giving us Republic soldiers discounts. I bet he gives you Jedi a great deal.
Chiwi just.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. That's a lot of money. Maybe I could do something for you then. All right, I'll do it. I'll tell the Selkath that he left before the shot went off, but this is our little secret. If you try and turn me in for lying, I'm making sure you come with me.
I guess this is what they call working the system. Not that I'm objecting. I just hope the Selkath don't find out about it.
Now, was there anything else you wanted? There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firaxan. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? I was in my room, minding my own business with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Glupor in the hall by Alassa's room, and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty. Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alassa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Well, Alassa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. 100 credits isn't enough for the kind of trouble I'd be having if I told you. Sorry. You know, I think I could trust you. Heck, I don't even know why I shouldn't tell you. Well, one time, I saw Alassa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alassa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you.
I'll testify to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
Chikikun Salkat, Jonamulira. Lupar tang hit wanaji Salkat agi inko tune. Lupor yon tung chiwi ita. Bola un jikne mulira glupor. Glupor kinpanik chalora. Glupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Glupor nibo jimata wipun nage. Tang abag sun cham u. Glupor tang hit wamaji Salkat. Lupor pichage borang turang, lupor wangki yumapat malyaw no. Kun muli ras limo poy wanga kun makatang abag sinshan lupor ninong kili, lupor chiwaka aita kang kicha nas, lupor sha, lupor pampa ki muli ra kun kin, lupor chacha tang itzalkat wama jiko na, lupor ag inkotune. Grupper no molira, chuna molira, tongpa no kun, no nek, grupper chachopa.
You, Jedi, I hear you are investigating the Sunray murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. The Sunray and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be deep. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Sure.
Yes?
What?
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. Of course not. Yes. Yes, he was having an affair. He was seeing that Sith woman. After all these years we've been together, he just struck me like that. Not publicly, oh no. But inside, that's what it feels like. He started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. Maybe the Sith woman attacked him, and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. Yeah. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in combat. Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Jolie, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of arbiter cannot be taken lightly. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. So the truth is out. I never meant to kill her, you know. When I found out she was a Sith spy using me to gain information, something inside me just snapped. She didn't know I had found out. So I waited until she fell asleep. And then I killed her. Simple, really. But once I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I contacted those spies from the Republic to help me. I found the illegal monitoring device that the Sith had planted in the room, altered its recording to hide my part in it, and cleared up the evidence. I figured that was the end of it. The Sith must have been spying on me and Alasa, trying to make sure she wasn't a double agent. They must have seen the Republic spies getting rid of all the evidence. So they planted their own evidence. Alasa must have stolen that hero's cross from me long ago and given it to her Sith masters like some kind of trophy. I just thought I'd misplaced it. But when the cross turned up on her body, I knew the Sith had put it there. So, now you know the whole story. What are you going to do?
But Sunry is a murderer. I'm sorry, old friend, but you are. I can't approve of this. You go ahead, however, if that's what you think is best.
I'm glad you decided to see reason in this. If I'm convicted, it could cause trouble for the Republic Embassy here on Manaan. And none of us want that, now do we?
Got something on? What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. So I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. I don't expect much these days.
It is an honor to see justice served, and I will see Sunry is executed for the crime he has committed.
The man I saw leaving, Sunry, left before I heard the blaster shot.
Impossible! You are Firith Me, the well-known Pazak player. I wonder if we can trust the word of a gambler as reliable testimony. Of course, Your Honor.
Well, I came out into the hallway after hearing the blaster shot and saw Sunry over there limping down the hall out of the building.
A very obvious point, Your Honors. The accused was seen leaving the scene of the crime after the blaster that killed Elassa was fired.
Yes, from what I could tell, she carried a lightsaber under that cloak of hers.
Objection! That doesn't prove she was a Jedi.
You mean actually see him kill her with my own eyes? Well, no, but I don't think there could have been anyone else there.
Glupor the Rhodian, you were staying in the hotel the night of the murder and saw Sunry leaving Elassa's room, didn't you? This is clear, then, that Sunry left the room with the Sith Elassa already dead behind him.
Glupor.
Don't do it, Glupor.
Glupor kan Davik Nibora tong Chitsa. Glupor. Glupor tong Himamaji Glupor Aki Ukotunsi. Glupor no Mulira Chuni Mulira Chubaka Chupa Glupor.
You, Elora, are Sunry's lawful wife. Your husband was a hero in the last war between the Sith Empire and the Republic. He was crippled in that war. Do you not believe he'd blame the Sith for his injury?
Yes. I guess he would.
And there you have motive. Sunry seeks revenge on the Sith for what they did to him and killed Elasa.
Yes. Yes, it was true. He was having an affair with that Sith harlot.
It seems painfully obvious that he killed her to keep her quiet about the affair.
He'd been seeing her for some time, I think. But he said he was going to change. He'd gone there that night to end it. We talked the night before and he'd promised. But now things have become so very complicated.
I wish to call forth Sunry himself, Your Honors. Are you a war hero, Mr. Sunry? You fought in wars against the Sith Empire, correct?
Yes, that's right. And I don't regret it either. The Republic needs its heroes.
Indeed. Would you say that you dislike the Sith? Even hate them?
Of course I hate them. Trying to take over the galaxy every chance they get, killing millions of innocents?
Pure politics. Were you in Elasa's room on the night of the murder?
Well, yes, I was. I had been having an affair with Elasa, my wife, yes. But I realized how wrong I'd been, and I was going there to end it.
You were having an affair with a Sith. You wanted to end it quickly and quietly, so you killed her from behind and tried to flee.
No,
I think we can see the answer clear enough, Mr. Sunry.
Yes, I think they would. They wouldn't want to lose one of their sources, even though I didn't give them anything. They might have killed her for her failure. Or they might have thought she'd turn against them or something like that.
The Sith Empire is not the barbaric institution you portray it to be. I think the facts in this case are very straightforward. Sunry was having an affair with Elasa. He sought to end it, and the simplest, quickest method, given his hatred of the Sith, was to simply kill her. Witnesses saw Sunry fleeing the scene, and material evidence places him there at the time of the murder as well. I am confident that any informed observation of the facts will lead the judges, Your Honors, to this very conclusion. Well, that doesn't mean a thing. He was there, running from the room. The Sith would not leave the medal of her killer clutched in her hand. Your Honors, no!
Oh, Sunry, I'm so glad.
Elora, thank you for saving me. I don't know how I can repay you. Elora and I are going to leave here and get as far away from all this as soon as we can. I and the Republic will not forget what you've done for us. Thank you.
Have you managed to retrieve the data from our droid in the Sith base? Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manaan is the sole source of Courthouse, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes Courthouse exports. But a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manaan anyway. So we made a deal. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest Courthouse directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction. An ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. We don't know. We just don't know. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our Courthouse packing room and enter the sub therein. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
How did you get in? Did they send another submersible? Quick, we have to get out of here. We have to get away. No! No, we have no time. We have to leave now. I managed to close the door after they killed everyone else, but I don't know how long it will hold. We have to! We have to leave! The Selkath, they went crazy. They started killing anything that moved. Someone must have triggered the defense systems too, because all the droids activated as well. I was one of the mercs the Republic sent down here to find out what happened. We came down and secured the first couple of rooms. There were bodies everywhere. And the Selkath came out, screaming and croaking their fishy little war cries. They swarmed out and over us. There was no way we could stop them. So we ran. But hardly any of us made it. I locked the door behind us, but the others had already left in the submersible. The sharks. The Firaxan out there, and worse. I heard an explosion shortly after the submersible left. They didn't make it. Just food for the sharks and the Selkath. Like us. Back to the surface, yes. No! There's something out there. It got the other submersible already. We can't leave until you do something. Blow up the entire station, maybe. That might distract whatever it is long enough for us to escape to the surface. But all the machinery and stuff is in the southern half, and that's been flooded. There might still be environmental suits around, but the Selkath might have laid their eggs in them. No! I locked the door so the Selkath won't get in. If you open it, we're all done for. If you go in there, you're dead. You're all dead. If you want to die, then go. You won't hear me mourning for you. I'll stay here and be safe until some sort of real rescue comes.
Let's make this quick. I'm here.
Yes?
Yes?
Is somebody out there? Fishy, fishy, fishy. Come and eat me too. You can't get me, little fishy. Nothing here. I'm safe behind my walls. Investigate? You're just like the others. Fodder for the Selkath. Walk and fish next. Trump, trump, trump. If you can run, you might be fast food.
When the Selkath went insane and started killing everybody, I locked myself in here. I'm safe in here. Nothing can hurt me in here. No fishy food for me.
No, only the... Don't know. Go ask them. When the demon screamed, it shook every mind in the station. We fell to the ground but survived. No, only...
No problem. Got it. No problem. Got it. No problem. Didn't work.
Toxins.
Who's there? You're not Cellcath, I can see that much. Are you another rescue crew? I'm a merc the Republic hired a couple days ago to investigate. But all we found was a bunch of insane Cellcath killing everything that moves. All my companions are dead. The Cellcath swarmed over us. There were dozens of them. And they looked wrong, somehow. Like something had changed inside them. Insane or something. Oh, I'd have gone back to the surface long ago if this complex hadn't been overrun by all those crazy Cellcaths. There's no way for me to get to the submarine docking bay. I discovered a way to get to the bay and seal off the rest of the base. I just have to find the Courthouse harvester they built on the edge of the Hrackert Rift. It's got an emergency override to open the doors to the submarine docking bay. And I could get in from the outside. I figured my only chance was to slap on an environment suit, head out onto the ocean floor, and check that harvester out for myself. Besides, it's gotta be safer out on the ocean floor than back in there with all those crazed Cellcath mutants running around looking for dinner. I'm not spending another minute in this facility. Not with those psychotic fish people all over the place. I'm heading out to the ocean floor right now. It leads to another complex of buildings. Going through them is the only way to reach the Courthouse harvester. We should probably stick together, but I won't wait around in here with the Cellcath. You can catch up with me if you want. Down the hall and through the doors on the right. I'll be waiting on the ocean floor where...
Come on, hurry up. Don't just stand there, we have to keep moving. The water is filled with... Ow! Ah!
No, you can't come in here. You'll let the Firaxan and the Selkath in. No, stay out! Stay out! I won't let you open the door for those monsters to get in. I'll stop you. I'll suck all the pressure out of the chamber. That'll stop you.
Kill them! Kill them now!
60 seconds to complete the pressurization. 54 seconds to complete the pressurization. 48 seconds.
Didn't work. What do you want? Go away! You'll let the Firaxan and the Selkath in. They'll get us like they got all the others. No. Yes, you're a friend. You'll protect us. You won't let the Firaxan eat us. You'll keep the Selkath away. I'll unlock the door, but you have to come in quickly. I'm sorry for what I did. I don't know what came over me. I just panicked when I heard someone outside the door. Please forgive me. I'm just so scared.
We're both just scared.
When the Selkath went crazy, I thought everyone else except me and Sammy went mad. We had a few people outside the station when it happened.
The Firaxan sharks just tore them apart. It was like they were frenzied.
The next thing we knew, our Selkath researchers started screaming and clawing at everything around them. My team was torn apart and eaten before my eyes. Sammy and me, I thought we were the only ones left. We heard the Selkath outside the doors every once in a while. And strange noises echoing through the base.
We thought everyone was dead. Dead or insane. I must have been hysterical. I don't know what I can say. I truly apologize for the horrible mistake I was making.
I'm Kono Nolan, and this is Sammy. We were scientists working here on the Harakard Rift project. Look, I'm sorry. I have just been under a lot of strain recently. You know, the whole thing about having my entire research team devoured before my eyes.
Kono, calm down. Don't talk to him like that. We've gone through a lot, and we said we were sorry for the mistake we made.
I'm sorry for my actions, but what are you doing here?
Well, we're not too clear ourselves just exactly what happened.
The work teams were outside in the rift, near the vent. Then there was this rumbling, and my head felt like it was splitting open.
This monster rose up from the rift.
It was a Firaxan shark, I think. Bigger than anything I'd ever seen before. Bigger than our submersibles.
It was like it was screaming inside my head.
Then all the Selkaths started screaming too. And they turned on us. It may have been. Maybe it was protecting the ruins by the rift. It could have been. It might have a lair in the Harakard Rift near the Courthouse vent. That might explain a few things too. We had no clue at all until it came out. Maybe whatever sort of power it used to drive the Selkath insane masked it from us somehow. Maybe it was lying dormant deeper in the rift.
I think it might live there. Live there because of the Courthouse.
Maybe. That would explain more. Like why it reacted so violently when our construction efforts got closer to the vent. And also, why it's so large. It must be feeding off the Courthouse. Would have to be ancient indeed for it to reach that size. But with Courthouse as a food source...
And all those other Firaxan sharks? Those might be its offspring.
Which would be why they all swarmed when it called out to them. Children coming to protect their mother. The Firaxan sharks have always been a serious problem. We had some blasters and projectile cannons to defend against them, but they still got some of our workers from time to time.
We were working on a soluble chemical compound that would drive them away. Something that smelled or tasted repulsive to them, but we never got it working right.
Oh, I think not. Even flawed like it is, It should be ideal for this situation.
No, it's not working right. You don't know what it'll do. The repellent we made was supposed to drive Firaxan sharks away, but we never got very far in its development. The one we tested instead was violently toxic to them, rupturing their outer skin in seconds and preventing them from drawing oxygen from the water by clogging their intakes.
Which is exactly what we need in this situation. Something to kill that monster shark that destroyed our station.
But we don't know how else the chemical reacts. We only tried it in a controlled environment. In the open ocean, who knows what it could do? It could even affect the Courthouse.
We know exactly what it'll do. It'll kill the shark. That's what we designed it to do. You don't need to do anything else. We have a canister of the toxin here right now. We were working on it before the giant Firaxan drove all the Selkath insane. All you need to do is insert it into the main Courthouse harvester and have it vented. Get away as soon as you can. We don't know how much worse it'll affect the giant Firaxan shark.
Well, the monster seems to have been driven out by the machinery we installed at the edge of the rift. We've seen it out there on the cameras, bashing itself against the machines. I think if you could destroy the machinery we installed, the shark would calm down and retreat back into its lair inside the rift. You can reprogram the harvesting machines to overpressure their self-oxidizing fuel so that the fuel tank canisters will rupture and the entire machine will destroy itself. The hydrolium gas we use is a gas at 1 to 3 million Sangin, a liquid at about 4 million Sangin, and a solid above that. When it's a liquid, it's very explosive. If you inject enough of the hydrolium gas into the tank, the pressure will be so great that it'll turn to liquid form and start a chain reaction inside the machine.
But we'll lose everything we've built here. All those years of work.
It's better than whatever your chemical will do to the water. Good. Destroying the machinery will be better in the long run. We can't risk damaging the environment or the Courthouse. You'll have to break into the computer on the harvesting machine and fiddle with the fuel injectors to get the tank pressure up to the point where the hydrolium will liquidize. Once the machinery is gone, the shark should leave.
That won't work and you know it. We have to vent the toxin from the harvesting machine. Once the shark is dead, we can get back to mining the Courthouse. You know what you have to do.
I just hope you make the right choice.
I think I've been poisoned.
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure. You may have defeated the pathetic bounty hunter my master sent after you, but you are no match for me. I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord himself. Do you think those Republic subs are the only way to reach the ocean floor? Malak and Revan found a way down here long before the Rackard station was built. I acquired a ship and followed the same route Revan and my master used on their own journey. Then it was simply a matter of waiting for you to return for the star map. Your words mean nothing to me, unless you wish to beg for your life. No? Then I shall try to make this both quick and painful. Yes?
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 Not this again!
You've returned. I was beginning to fear that you too might have been lost. Did you find out what had happened down there at the facility? Something was down there? Living in the rift by the Courthouse? It's horrible. The entire operation wasted by a disaster we could never in 1,000 years have foreseen. What has happened to the facility itself? Were there any survivors? Well, that's good to know. Good to know indeed. But what has happened to the facility? Was it damaged? No, that is terrible. That will set our work back years. It may even cost us the war. While I am glad that you were able to solve our problems, the cost may have ended up being much too high. But you have done your job and helped us in our time of need. And for that I thank you. Oh, and did you end up finding your star map? As you can see, by helping us, you helped yourself. Perhaps we can work together again in the future.
I'm here.
Yes?
What can I do?
What?
I'm here.
Sure.
And you need?
Yes?
Sure.
How can I help? Why? I could not accomplish this on my own. I need the aid of others, especially one who is strong in the Force. The bond between us made you a natural choice. Besides, the events on Taris prove that the Force wanted to bring us together for this mission. And there is little left to chance when the Force is involved. Is that not enough for you? I said we were brought together for our mission, to stop Malak. I hardly think the Force will be pushing us toward a romantic involvement when the fate of the galaxy is at stake. Please try to stay focused. I doubt the Council would approve if they knew we were busy discussing our mutual attraction when we should be saving the galaxy from Malak. Mutual attraction? I never said... It's just an expression. Whatever our feelings... whatever your feelings, you have to try to ignore them. Don't let this complicate things. Finding the missing pieces of the star maps is our only hope of locating the Starforge and defeating Malak. The Council explained all this quite clearly. I admit, there were times that I wondered if this is more than just a mission to stop Malak. There were times when I wondered if this was also a way for the Council to test my own abilities. I wondered if the Council wanted to see how I would help and guide you on our quest. I wondered if they were testing me to see if I was ready to become a Jedi Master myself. And then I realized how foolish such thoughts were. As the Council explained, sending a Master in our group would only have drawn unwanted attention from the Sith. The fate of the galaxy is at stake. The Council would not risk it merely to test me. They calculated the risks, and in the end chose the only option available. You must learn to trust in the wisdom of the Council. Your destiny will come when it's appointed time. You mustn't be so impatient. Must you be so frustrating? I admit, I had a moment of foolish pride, but I'm over it. Now I am focused on my true responsibilities. I'm simply trying to help you and complete this mission, and yet you battle me at every turn. Fun? Fun? Driving me insane is your idea of a good time? You are a very odd man. Do you know that? I simply don't know how to deal with you. All I want to do is help you, but you seem determined to drive me mad. Unfortunately, it isn't as easy as that, but your point is well taken. Come on, come. Let's move on. There's much to be done. can I do?
What?
Now you'll get it.
There. What can I do? You cannot win.
Nice.
Yes?
Nice.
You cannot win. I'm here. I'm here.
What?
What can I do?
Yes?
What?
here.
Yes?
Sure.
I'm here. The Force fights with me!
Not this again!
Let's make this
I still got How did you get in here? Wait. I recognize you. Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
Well, let me guess. You intend to collect this reward, right? See? What did I tell you?
As you wish, my eager apprentices. We shall remove this thorn from Malak's side once and for all.
Yes, certainly you must have heard of the destruction of Taris. It's your honorable friends that committed that atrocity. Use the Force, then. Look into your heart, and you will realize what is truth and what is lies. You've been saved from more than you know. Given time, the Sith would have turned you fully to the dark side, and you would have betrayed your world gladly. What can I do?
Yes?
Sorry, but you're too late to Sorry, but... Hey. Sorry. And why...
Hey, kid. That was a good thing you did there. Almost brought a tear to this old man's eye.
That was a truly noble act. The Jedi Council would be pleased. I'm here.
Sure.
Got something on? No, I never did I? Of course you do. I know things, remember? You think you can make it around this part of the galaxy without me? But don't answer that. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed. I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? So I could. Well, not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Well, I, for one, am quite content to let you make your own mistakes. Just because I want to see where this ends up doesn't mean I need to tell you how to get there. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can't be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day. Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? We're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!